How is it going, everyone? It's Johnny Bead here with another episode of the Streamer Stories podcast. My guest today is absolutely brilliant. I've got TabathaSabbatha. Hello, hello. How are you doing?
Hello, good. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Not so bad at all. Not so bad. Bit cold, but it's winter. And I live in the UK, so
Oh,
but yeah. I hope you're good. You look absolutely cozy in that room. Absolutely love your display. It's amazing.
thank you. Thank you. I work in here a lot, so
Yeah.
need to make sure it's cozy.
Is that is it like do you work from home? Is that like something that you do alongside streaming? Because that looks amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, well, besides streaming, I have an online Etsy shop and I do a lot of my artwork in here. So I do everything here basically.
Oh wow! And hey, if you spend
Mm-hmm.
a long time there, then you make it look as good as you can, right? Hell yeah, hell yeah. Well, Tabby, thanks for coming on the podcast. I really appreciate that. Do you want to tell us, just give us a bit of an introduction about who you are, what you do, and where we can find you?
Sure. Oh my goodness. Whenever anyone asks me that, I always forget who I am and what I like. Um well, my real name is Tabitha, but everyone does call me Tabby. I stream a variety of video games, everything from retro, cozy, newer games, things like that. I like to do cozy arts and crafts streams from time to time where I paint Pokemon cards or do a little Lego crafting. And I unbox Pokemon cards fairly often on stream. Um, yeah, I'm an artist and crafter with a small business. I have a wife and two cats who like to appear on my stream sometimes. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's so awesome. Oh, yay! But that I love it. I love it. And the Pokemon stuff is amazing. I've seen some of this stuff obviously you posted on Twitter recently, and oh wow, you're so talented. Yeah, absolutely
Thank
love it.
you.
Absolutely love it. But okay, but that's now, isn't it? So let's
Mhm.
rewind the clock a bit to X year, which I dare not ask. I never ask. I dare not. But yeah, tell us about your first memories. Do you have any? Do you remember what your first memories of like seeing a video game? So it may not have even been playing it, but did you see it? Did you play it?
Mm.
What comes to mind?
I think the first time I ever saw a video game was there was a liquor store down the street that just had a ton of candy. So I would walk down there with my dad. He'd let me pick out whatever candy I wanted and get something to drink. And they had a Pac-Man machine there. And I used to watch him play all the time. Sometimes I would play too, but I wasn't very good at it because I was like probably like 5. But yeah, he would pick me up and put me on his knee, and I would just watch him play Pac-Man forever,
Oh,
and I loved it.
oh, nice. But what do we know? What was it on a console? Was it on a handheld? What was it an arcade machine? Where
Oh,
was
yeah, it
it?
was an arcade machine.
Oh,
So
arcade.
it was at a little convenience store down the street.
Nice.
So they had this whole like Pac-Man arcade machine, and yeah, I just used to like perch up on his knee and watch him play
Oh,
forever.
that's so sweet. That's so sweet. How many quarters did you put in?
Oh gosh, I don't even remember.
No. Goodness. Oh, oh, wholesome. That's so nice. Okay. So, did you go to did you go to play, watch slash play of arcade machines? Did it change over time? How much was it in terms of like, did the transition go in terms of like video games from home?
Um, as far as like consoles and video games from home, I think my first introduction to that was we had a friend of the family who was a teenager at the time. So he was like the cool babysitter. So he would bring his N64 for us to play.
No, I got you.
So we would play Super Mario 64, we'd play Rampage, GoldenEye 007, stuff like that. And that was probably my first experience with the console.
Oh, nice. Oh, goodness. So, did you
Mhm.
like have like 4 players on the Nintendo 64? Did you have the classic setup like that as well?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it
nice.
was like the classic setup.
Oh, sweet. Did you have different multicolored control pads?
Oh gosh, I don't even remember. I just remember the gray 64. We
Yeah.
were we were really young at the time.
I never got the Nintendo 64 when I grew up. I was on the PS1. And but
Uh,
I always like used to look in the like used to get catalogs obviously back in the 90s, didn't we? So And I used to remember looking through the catalogs here in the UK and just seeing all the multicolored control pads. That all like it always used to have the
Mm,
console and the four controllers being set up like neatly. And I was like, oh,
yeah.
that looks like the coolest thing. And like I always did want a Nintendo 64, but for years and years and years, it took me a long time to play any games on it. Um,
Mm,
but yeah, I mean, you played a lot of multiplayer then. So we played Mario Kart, GoldenEye.
yeah. Mario Kart was another one. And funny enough, I thought I never really played PlayStation games until I found out later because we had a PC as well. So we played a lot of PlayStation games, but on PC.
Oh, okay.
So I played like Tomb Raider, I played like Soul Reaver, stuff like that. On PC, not knowing that they were actually PlayStation games as well.
Hmm. Did you play the because I think those two games came out on PC as well as PlayStation. Did you play
Yeah.
official PC versions or an emulator? Do you know? I don't
Oh,
suppose.
they were the PC versions.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
know
Oh
if you
wow.
remember this, like back when game stores had a PC section, a
Yes.
PC game section. Not anymore, really,
No.
but
Bad times, and you used to have the big boxes and all sorts as well.
yeah.
Oh man, all that storage space that we've saved, but I don't know. I think it's memories lost. I don't know. I'm a bit old school, I suppose.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, yeah, good times, man. Good times. Oh right, okay. So when you did play like Mario or Mario Kart, then did you have like favorite characters that you used to play as?
Oh, for the old Mario Kart, I used to go for Yoshi or Toad,
Yeah,
usually.
nice.
Yeah. Now I usually play as Shy Guy, Boo, or the Piranha Plant in the
Oh,
newer game. Yeah.
nice. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. Sweet. Oh hell yeah. So did with the arcade? We were just going back to the arcades. Did you play more of the arcades like leading up to like babysitting days, or did you move on to different arcade machines?
Not really. After that, I never really played an arcade till I was probably like maybe like middle school
Yeah.
when I started playing arcade games again. And it was mostly my sister and I were obsessed with this game called House of the Dead.
Oh yeah.
And
Lovely.
we would spend so many quarters trying to pass that game. I think that's like the main arcade game. That and Galaga.
Yeah. Oh god. I love House of the Dead. Old school House of the Dead was just so
Mm-hmm.
cheesy but so good.
It yeah.
Did you ever play House of the Dead Overkill?
I don't think so.
Oh yeah, that's like my favorite. Really, it came out on the Wii, and then it got released on the
Oh.
PC afterwards as Typing of the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
So you can use your mouse to shoot, or you can type. Again, typing. Oh, typing the Dead's great.
Oh, that's okay. I've heard people mention Typing of the Dead. I'm like, what is that?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
that's what
basically the
that
same game, but
is.
you type very silly words instead.
Yeah.
They put some of the stupidest words on. Then you go, "What am I
Oh my
typing?"
goodness.
Okay. Oh yeah, if you liked House of the Dead and you like the silly, cheesy slapstick ness of it, House of the Dead Overkill is brilliant. However, it's OTT as well. Like it took homage from like Grindhouse. Did you ever watch the Grindhouse movies?
A
And stuff.
little bit.
Yeah. So it's kind of mixing like that 70s horror
Yeah.
Grindhouse style. And the stories it's very very silly but also over the top and some could argue controversial. But
I
yeah,
love that though.
it's very silly. They like intentionally put in like bloopers and bad acting and like continuation errors and stuff like that because it was a thing in the 70s, wasn't it? So yeah, highly recommend House at Overkill or typing it at Overkill if you like that. Oh yeah, I played
I'll
it.
have
It's
to
brilliant.
check that out.
So good, so good. But yeah, I've not played the remake of House of Dead yet, mind. I don't know how good that is. But oh, nice stuff. Okay, so you again you had so you relied on like others really to play like games back in when the Nintendo 64 days. When did you have your own first console?
My first console was a Game Boy Color, if that counts.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mostly played on handhelds. We didn't actually have our own N64 till I was like in high school.
Okay.
So, but we played a lot on PC as well. So,
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so you play Soul Reaver and you play Tomb Raider. Oh, Tomb
mm,
Raider remastered
mhm.
coming out now, so that's awesome.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so good. So did you? Yeah. What other PC games did you play? What Game Boy Color games did you play as well?
My first Game Boy Color game was Pokemon Blue. So my parents were basically like, it was my brother and sister and I. And my parents said, we can afford for Christmas to get you each one Game Boy Color and one game. Super Mario Deluxe,
Okay. Yeah.
Super Mario Brothers Deluxe. So I played that a lot too, because we used to share games and stuff.
Nice.
So.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool. Did you what color was your Game Boy Color?
Oh, mine was, I wanted the atomic purple. I
Yeah.
wanted the clear purple, but they were sold out. So I had to get the teal colored one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Was there like a
Yeah.
weird teal? I don't know if we got this weird like
Yeah.
yeah, it was like a
Like a
weird
bluish kind of yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It was a very weird color I found. I think I know
Hmm.
which one you're talking about. It's like, what color is this? Like I don't think I'd paint my wallet. But yeah, yeah. Purple though. Yeah, yeah. I'm a purple guy as well. Um, but yeah. Okay, nice. Okay. So yeah, let's talk Pokemon. I mean, what starter do you remember what your first starter was? What Pokemon did you like fall in love with? Do you remember your team?
My first starter was Squirtle, but then I fell in love with Bulbasaur, who's my favorite starter.
Yeah.
My favorite Pokemon growing up was Haunter.
Hmm.
Ever since I saw him in the anime, I just really liked that he was spooky and silly, and like I wanted him to stay Haunter forever.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, bless. Oh, yeah. I mean, I never really had like Gengars or Haunters like growing up, but like over time, I mean, I'm not like a massive like hardcore like Pokemon player at all.
oh,
I kind of base player and I'm very vanilla.
yeah.
But yeah, I never really appreciated Haunter and Gengar until many years later, and oh
Mm,
yeah, fantastic Pokemon. And yeah, he is adorable. I love that you can get like quite comfortably get Haunter and Gengar merch nowadays. Whereas again, back in those days, it was hard to find anything like that.
mm-hmm.
Good stuff. Okay. So did you get the Game Boy Advance after that? Did you stick on handhelds for a while?
Yeah. Gosh, we got a GameCube later on, maybe towards the end of high school for me, but I mostly played everything on handheld. So yeah, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance SP, DS, DSi, and so on. I was a big Nintendo person growing up.
Yeah. Hell yeah. And what games did you play on those handhelds?
Oh gosh, I played whatever I could get. I played all the Pokemon games, obviously. I loved Kirby. I think my favorite Game Boy Advance game for the longest time was Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. I was obsessed with that game. Um, oh gosh, I even played Tomb Raider for the Game Boy. I don't know if you ever played Tomb Raider for the Game Boy.
No. Okay. What's that like?
Yeah, yeah, it was a straight up Game Boy game, Tomb Raider. And I really enjoyed it. I played Metroid, any Metroid game that came out. Metroid is like one of my favorite game franchises of all time. So I loved anything Metroid, Mario Bros, Kirby, Pokemon. Those are like the main things I grew up playing.
Oh, that's nice. That's good stuff. In terms of Metroid, did you play like Metroid Prime? Did you go down the middle, or did you like backtrack? How did you find yourself into the Metroid series?
I actually played Metroid Prime first,
Nice.
which is
Yeah.
my favorite game just because I played it so much growing up. I really love that game. And then I played the original NES Metroid, but I played the remake for the Game Boy Advance, I think it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, and then I played Metroid 2 for Game Boy. I played Super Metroid. I kind of just jumped around. But I started with Prime and then I kind of went back to the older Metroid games.
Gotcha. Nice. So I never actually played Metroid before. Like I never played that much like Nintendo stuff growing up. I did play a little bit on the handhelds, but it's like it's a series I'm learning more about like now, and it's a series I really want to get into
Mhm.
like now as well. Like I've been like watching like retrospectives on it and stuff like that, and it's a fascinating series really. I'm learning a lot about like the history of the games and stuff. So yeah. Where would you recommend I start in terms of Metroid? And would you recommend Metroid Prime or?
Well, it depends on what play. Do you want to go more of like a retro, like,
Good question. Yeah, probably, yeah, because I mean, Metroid and Castlevania kind of got into webbing links, haven't they? I do like a Castlevania game. So,
oh, Then Super Metroid's really good.
Okay,
That's one of my favorite games. It's probably my favorite game for Super Nintendo.
noted. Okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I do want to sell that. So I need to correct that, don't I? I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. So in terms of like games, you mentioned quite a lot of like you mentioned some multiplayer games at the beginning, and then as time's kind of gone on with the
Mhm.
handheld stuff, you've mentioned quite a lot of solo games. Did you play? How
Mhm.
much did like multiplayer go into like your perhaps your teens and stuff like that? Was that a factor, or were you more solo player?
I mean, I used to casually play stuff with my sister and sometimes my brother at home. Other than that, I didn't really get into multiplayer stuff until I started playing World of Warcraft,
Oh, okay.
like around '05. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Did you play a lot of Warcraft?
Yeah, I played Warcraft from '05 up until maybe a couple years ago. When the whole Blizzard stuff came out, I kind of stopped playing for a couple years, but I just started playing again. Now that they kind of cleaned house and the CEO is gone and stuff like that, I felt comfortable coming back.
Hmm.
So I only took like a 2 year break. So it was like it's still my favorite game. But it was like my favorite game for like 15 years.
Yeah, that was rough. I think
Yeah.
I remember speaking to a couple of content creators about that at the time. It was yeah, very rough time, wasn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, hopefully that is cut out now. Should we say? Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
But let's talk about memories of Warcraft. And so you played for a long time. Then wow, okay.
Hmm.
What is it about Warcraft and that appealed to you and that kept you going for so long? Because I mean, arguably it's the most successful MMO that was ever made, isn't it? So yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I decided to give it a try on the free trial. It looked like fun. I don't know if you remember the old commercial with Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and
Mr.
I was like,
T as well.
does Ozzy play Warcraft? Like, I might have to try this. So yeah, I tried it out and I really liked it. And yeah, I just kind of stuck with it. I fell in love with the lore, the play style, the characters. I had a really good guild for a while that made it extra fun. And yeah, I just loved it so much. I've even read all of the novels like multiple times. Like I don't know, I just fell in love with the lore and the characters and everything and just really got into it.
Oh, nice, nice. Did you has your guild changed over the years, or is it something that was consistent?
It was not consistent. It was just like a random group that I met that was kind of like advertising their guild in like the general chat. And it was fun for a while, and then it kind of everyone just kind of grew apart. Like, or when a certain expansion came out, when Miss Pandaria came out, everyone kind of like started dropping off, and I guess the guild just never reformed. So
It's sad, isn't it? Like, I mean, I've not again, I'm not playing much Warcraft, but one thing I did do for a long time and still kind of do a little bit is play Left 4 Dead 2. And
mhm.
like, I remember playing like Left 4 Dead 2 with certain people that I'd never met in life. You know, obviously, again, that's what streaming is like in a certain way, isn't it? And you form like real friendships with people, and like in
Yeah,
these type of multiplayer games. And then it's sad, is it, when it kind of like you have that moment of reflection almost, and kind of look back and went, hang on, oh, it's not going to be like it used to be because we're all moved on and stuff like that. Like, can
yeah,
you relate? You can relate to that.
yeah.
No, it's it's a weird thing. Again, I've seen their stuff like I think I saw a meme, not meme, but you know, like it was like a meme page, and it was saying like um, some people were playing a game together, and then like it was 7 years had passed, and then one of them messaged the other going, "Hi, just thought I'd say hi. I'm we used to play games, and it's been like 7 years, and I've got a wife and a family and kids and stuff like that." And it's like, oh, that's so wholesome, but it's also like,
I
oh, how much
know.
time has gone?
I know. Cause yeah, this was like a decade ago for me. So
Yeah. Do you have that with
yeah.
I know we're jumping the gun and get a bit now, but like how long have you been streaming for? And do you find that in terms of like the streaming world as well?
Yeah, it definitely happens in the streaming world too. I've been streaming for July will make 4 years. So 3.5 years. And yeah, things have changed a lot. People come and go and it's something you kind of have to get used to. Like I have people that have been around since almost the beginning, and that's really awesome. Like I've had people that have been around for like 2 or 3 years. But then there are sometimes people, that you stop seeing for a while, and I'm one of those people that can't help but wonder, like, if they're doing okay,
Yeah,
you know?
same, same. I the setting on Twitch is kind of funny in terms of like people. I don't think they have like a friend function on Twitch anymore, but they used to, didn't they? You used to be able to like
Mhm.
follow people and be friends with them, and they like link them together. But you can like if you go through a weird setting on Twitch, you can see people that you used to be friends with. And I was going through it again, I think maybe like 6 months ago, and seeing all these names that I'd followed because I've been streaming for nearly 7 years, and
Mhm.
I was like, oh my god, I forgot all about these people. Oh no, I hope they're
Mhm.
okay. What happened to
Yeah.
them? It's a weird one, isn't it? It's a
Mhm.
online. I mean, I wouldn't say even online friendships. I mean, I've bumped into people that I've not seen for years in person, and they're like, "How the devil are you? It's been I haven't seen you since before the plague."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
literally. So time's weird, man. Time's weird. Um,
Mhm.
Sorry, that was a bit of a deviation, but I love it. How much do you play in terms of like games offline compared to like games on the stream? What's that ratio like for you in terms of like offline playing of games and stuff?
Oh, I almost hardly ever have time to play games off stream anymore. Um, but I mean, I try to occasionally, especially stuff that's more like comfort stuff or things that I'd rather not stream. Just like comfort games that
Hmm.
I like to just go back and replay, or I'll casually play like Genshin Impact like off stream and stuff like that. So,
Yeah,
but not too much. Most of my gaming's done on stream now.
yeah, yeah. The balance, like again, the amount of streamers I speak to and that say the same thing. Like the balance has just shifted completely, hasn't it?
Hmm.
Is it a case of time, or is it a case of like content creation for you in terms of like, um, I can play this online and I can make something from it? Is it that type of thing, or is it just that I just have time? Let's just play it online. Let's play it on stream.
You know what? It actually depends. It depends on the game. But a lot of the times I just don't have time to play offline.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. No, I'm the same now. I've tried. I've tried playing it. I mean, I'm a bit of a football soccer fan. I've tried picking up the new FC game, football game, and I'm trying to play it. I might get like maybe one or two football games in, and that's it. I don't. I just, that's it. There's no time. There's no time. So
Yeah.
it's just sad. And last year I tried to have like an offline game in terms of an RPG. So I thought again, I'll pick it up, play it, and then hopefully I can play it over time. And I played Oblivion, a little Elder Scrolls Oblivion, as my offline game, and I beat it. And then it was like, okay, I need to pick up another RPG now, and I just couldn't. I just couldn't really get into one. It's just lack of time.
Mm,
It's just sad. Um,
yeah.
yeah. So, is there any games that you've played over the years that you would say are not so good? So when what is it like some of the worst games or some of the not so good games, and that could be a game that was either just very disappointing and you were having high expectations for, or maybe it was a game that was completely really like buggy and just badly designed.
Hmm. I could definitely say the worst game I ever played was recent. It was supposed to be a joke. It was like
Okay.
something my community unlocked to cosplay as Barbie and play a Barbie game.
Okay.
And it was a game called, I think, Explorer Barbie. So it's basically like a Barbie ripoff of Tomb Raider and Crash Bandicoot for the most part.
Yeah.
And I thought it was gonna be silly. I'm like, I'm gonna play it on hard mode. Like, we're gonna go. Like, I thought it was gonna be easy because it's Barbie. It's a kids game. This game was ridiculous. Like, the controls were like the tankiest I've ever played. The platforming was terrible. Like, it was the worst game I have ever played, and it kind of made it fun because my whole community was just smack talking the game. Like, what is this? Like, why would they make a Barbie game like this? Um, Besides that, I've been a little disappointed in some of the newer Pokemon games. I know
Okay.
Scarlet and Violet, honestly, I did not like.
Hmm.
And I'm a big Pokemon person, and it makes me really sad that I feel like now when a new Pokemon game comes out, instead of being excited, I have to like wait to buy it and see how it is first.
Mm. Oh, that's a real shame. But yeah, I think I've seen that sentiment a lot. Unfortunately, it's a real shame um, that Pokemon is just it's not. I don't know if it's not as good as it used to be. But again, I'm a few gens behind. I think I'm on like Gen 5 or 6. Shh, I know. I'm sorry. I'm slowly making my way through it. But like, yeah, I keep seeing the reviews because I've always been a Pokemon fan. I've through and through, and I always wanted to succeed, and I always like to see what new features and stuff like that. But yeah, it just seemed like the last few. There's always seems to be something wrong with it. Like I appreciate that they took a new direction with the new one, didn't they? Scarlet and Violet. They made it like open world and stuff, didn't they? I think. But apparently there's a lot of bugs I've heard. So
Yeah. And just the story wasn't very good, and
no.
I don't know. I feel like some of the newer Pokemon designs are really cool, but some of them like they seem kind of lazy. I don't know.
I've heard that since a certain gen, I don't know what gen it was, maybe Gen 3 or 4 or something like that. They try to get universally appealing names, don't they? That's because of the translations between all the languages and stuff like that, because they all have different. And I heard that was like one of the factors of why like people go, why is it called Trubbish?
Trubbish is one of my favorites.
I wonder why it's called Trubbish. I can't put my finger on why. You can say I've got Trubbish here. You can look here, Johnny Beard here. It's here.
I literally.
You do.
I do.
I was genuinely not expecting that. Oh, I love that. That's amazing. That's a lovely segue, actually. I mean, I'll ask a question. I don't know if you're going to answer it as plainly as I'm going to ask it. But do you have any video game collectibles, Tabby?
Not really.
No.
No, not really. Why would you ask that?
I don't know.
just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I love your display. I'm just gonna say it. I think it's the best I've ever seen. Like legit. I've seen a lot of displays on my podcast. Can I just say? And I genuinely think yours is the best. It's amazing. Fair play.
It's years of collectibles.
Never throw anything away.
No.
I'm just going a bit of a tangent at the moment, but I'm just going to go there. But I recently, about a year or two ago, I did a course at work on hoarding, and I'm not saying you got a problem. I promise. I'm not. I promise. Because again, I think there's healthy collecting, and I think that I don't think you've gone across that line. I promise. I think it's amazing. I absolutely love it.
Well, I feel like every hoarder is gonna think they're healthy collecting. So
that's a good point. That's what they said. But I'm trying to be nice. You don't have a problem. I promise. I'm not saying that. No, it's yeah, but it's great. So you never. I mean, well, okay. Again, I normally ask what your favorite item is, but I'm going to ask you two questions because you've got such an amazing collection. What's your favorite collectible? And second question for you is, what's your oldest?
Oh. Dang. Oh, that's so hard.
If it's hard, you can just say like one very old item if you want.
I know. I'm like, dang. I'm looking at everything. I think it's the old Pokédex toy, the Tiger Electronics Pokédex. I think that's one of my favorites.
The actual Pokédex,
and it's in like pristine condition. And it's like the old Tiger Electronics Pokédex.
Oh. Wait, I'm not asking now, but can you send me a picture of that when you get a moment, please?
Yeah,
I'd love to see that.
I wonder
if it's in. You don't have to do it
actually,
now.
I think I can reach it.
Only if you're sure. Oh, bless you.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Look at that. Oh wow! I think I remember seeing that again. Yeah, I think I remember those. Oh, that's an unlocked memory for me.
Yeah, I thought those were really cool. I think my oldest collectibles are probably old Pokemon collectibles. I have a lot of like obscure like stuff like the Pokemon Polly Pocket. I know it's not called Polly Pocket, but it's like Polly Pocket.
Gotcha. Yeah.
It's a little Pokemon playset. I still have the old like the bouncy balls with the Pokemon in them.
Okay. Yeah. Nice.
I have the booklet from my Pokemon Blue game,
Oh,
stuff like
yay.
that. It's most of my oldest collectibles are my Pokemon stuff
Mm.
because I was like hardcore Pokemon when I was a kid.
Do you have like still have like the boxes of like a Game Boy Pokemon Blue and stuff like that?
No, I wish I did. I
Yeah,
wish I did. I just have the game guide booklet
yeah.
from Pokemon Blue, but the boxes I don't.
They're so like they were cardboard, weren't they? They were hard to maintain.
Yeah.
Um,
Especially as a kid, you're not thinking about that, you know? You're not thinking about the box, you just want to play the game.
yeah, no, totally. I did not look after stuff when I was a kid. I like I it took I've been collecting Sega Mega Drive games. That was like my first console and stuff like that. And
Oh,
I'm finally at a point now where I'm like 98% complete with my collection. It's not like the biggest collection, but it's
oh
like all the games
wow.
I played as a kid. So it was about 60 odd
Yeah.
games. I've got like about 5 or 8 left to buy or something like that.
Oh.
And like, but I had them all as a kid, and buying them with money now, which again, cost of living and all that jazz. It's difficult, isn't it? So it's like, oh, having to.
Mhm.
So again, you did it the right way. You did it the best way. So well done. Oh, lovely, lovely chat. Okay, so have you are you someone that again, I suppose in terms of like Nintendo and stuff like that, growing up, maybe not, but have you ever been someone that like collects achievements and trophies and stuff like that in video games, or is that not something that really something you do?
No, usually not unless it's a game I'm like super into. Like, completing the Pokédex and like Pokemon games or Metroid Prime was one I always tried to 100%. And it's funny because I just 100%ed it for the first time this year.
Oh, okay, yeah,
I was always missing something.
right.
I would always complete the game at like 97%, and it would drive me crazy because you literally in Metroid Prime, you have to scan everything for your logs and like there's all kinds of stuff to do to complete it 100%.
Hmm.
And there was always at least something that I was missing. But this past year I played the remaster, and it was really cool because I did it on stream,
Hey,
and I got to see that 100% for like the first time since I started playing it when I was a kid. And I also was able to do the run deathless, which I've never done before.
oh wow,
I've never not died at least once because the
wow,
bosses get pretty hard.
yeah, I've heard.
Um, so I think that's like my favorite achievement that I've done in a
Nice.
game. And it was just cool that I had like people to celebrate it with, which is just something I love about streaming,
Yes.
is that when cool stuff happens in your games and you make accomplishments like that, like there's people there that get excited with you.
Yeah.
And I really, really love that.
Ah, that's wholesome. No, that's yeah, that's oh, yay. I love that. I love that. Oh, okay. Um, Here's a question for you. So, if you were stuck on a remote island, and on that island, I'm afraid to say, you're stuck on that island forever now. You can't get off it. I know it's sad. I know. I'm sorry. I didn't put you on the island. Okay, I just want to make that clear. It's not me. Okay. There are reasons. I just can't. I don't know what they are. You're stuck on the island. But on that island, you can only have 3 games with you. But you can use internet. You can use networking and connecting and all
Oh, I
that stuff.
can?
You can. You can do DLCs, mods as well if you want.
Mm.
What 3 games would you bring with you, and what would they be and why?
Three is so hard. Cause like cause I would want to say Metroid Prime because I played a lot and I never get tired of it, but I'd also want to be smart and pick games that I could do infinite stuff in.
Hmm.
So for sure, World of Warcraft,
I was thinking you
because
could
I
say
feel
that.
like
Yeah.
you never run out of stuff to do in there, like with anything. Maybe Pokemon Platinum
Okay.
because I want to bring at least one Pokemon game, and in Pokemon Platinum, it's probably my favorite Pokemon game. Yeah, Pokemon Platinum is just a Pokemon game that has a ton of stuff you can do besides completing your Pokédex and shiny hunting and stuff like that. There's like cute little Pokemon contests and
Oh,
things.
yes, there
So
is.
I feel like that would keep you occupied. Um, and then I think I'd probably go with Animal Crossing New Horizons
Nice. Yeah.
because you could build your island however you want. You can take it down or rebuild it again. There's a ton of stuff to do, especially with the new DLC. So I think it'd be something kind of cozy,
Yeah.
even though, well, even though technically you're on an island in Animal Crossing, so it seems kind of I'm stuck on an island, but I'm playing a game where I'm also stuck on an island.
Yeah.
But I think that game would be really enjoyable for hours. So I think I would pick three games that I know I could have like endless things
Mm.
to do.
I think that's an intelligent and also really, really cool set of games. That, to be fair, like I'd be down with that. Like I've never played Warcraft, but I have played a lot of Pokemon and a bit with Animal Crossing. Actually, I do. Animal Crossing is one of those games for me that I'm like, I don't play it because I know that if I'm gonna have to commit to it. Like you have to.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I can't. So I don't. But yeah, like I reckon if when I retire one day, like I think one of the first games I'm gonna pick up is put Animal Crossing, whatever version it'll be by that point. Because like I'll be like, right now I'm starting retirement. I'm just gonna now, yeah, here we go. Tom Nook, type of thing. So yeah, solid selection of games. That I love that. That's nice. Um, Sweet. Okay. I mean, we talked about mods very briefly in that chat there. Do you play mods in games and stuff like that, or is that not something that you do?
I have I've done some of the Resident Evil games
Oh, nice.
modded.
I was wondering if you guys talk about
Yeah.
Resident Evil.
Yeah. Oh, the thing is I'm a big baby with horror games. I still play them sometimes, and I think Resident Evil's the most tolerable for me because of all the action. It's like an action horror game, so it helps a little bit. I'm extremely jumpy. But the Resident Evil games, I don't know if they're more scary or less scary with mods because you could make the zombies into like Barney the dinosaur and Teletubbies and things like that. And
Yeah,
like it was funny, but like it also was in a way like even more like creepy.
yeah, yeah. I've seen like the Thomas the Tank Engine memes and stuff like that as well.
Yes.
Mr.
Oh my
X.
gosh.
I'm like, oh
Yes.
no, no, thank you. Mr. X in a G string is also very scary, in a different way. So,
Oh my goodness.
yes,
I didn't do that. Mr.
no,
X was Cat in the Hat for me.
I I didn't do it. I've seen it on the internet.
Hey, I don't judge. I don't judge.
Damn it, need to uninstall it now. She'll be like, hang on a minute, what's this? You said, Johnny Beard, you said. Oh, nice. I mean, if you could, so I'm a massive RE fan, so I have to ask. I mean, what is your favorite? Have you got any favorite characters or favorite games?
Oh man. I think my favorite one that I played was I've only played the remakes,
Hmm.
but I played Resident Evil 2 and I really really enjoyed that one a lot. I also really liked Village.
Yeah,
But 2 was probably my favorite if I had to pick one.
yeah, yeah. Oh God, the baby scene in Village. Yeah. Yes, I will say no more. Okay.
Mm.
But yeah, okay. So we talked about like not so good games. What about like difficult games? Is there any games or game genres maybe that are just like
Mm.
difficult? They're hard. Yeah. What's like? Is there like a hardest game you've ever played or experience that you've had? I mean, you mentioned Barbie. I mean,
Yeah, you know what? That game is ridiculously
yeah.
hard. If you beat it on hard mode, you're a god tier gamer.
Oh my
Like
God.
because that game's ridiculous. I don't know. I know Tomb Raider was really challenging for me growing up. Um, Super Metroid is also a difficult game. It's a really great game. It's one of my favorites, but it's difficult. I used to play a game called Cold Shadow on
Oh.
the Super Nintendo. I feel like it was like a Disney crossover. The main character was like Donald Duck, but
Oh. Never heard of
wasn't
that.
Donald Duck. Yeah.
Is that the plot twist?
A
Oh,
lot
it
of people
sounds.
haven't heard of it.
No. What's the...
Yeah. Whenever I say it, everyone's like, "What's that game?"
Yeah. Especially if
It
it's
was
such a Disney
fun,
game.
but it was hard. I don't know if it's officially Disney because they don't call it Donald Duck in the game, but it's clearly Donald Duck.
Okay, right. It's one of those.
Yeah.
Like the Winnie the Pooh horror movie that's just come out.
Yeah, but I don't know if like Disney had a like approval in it. They
Hmm.
might have because it's like straight up Donald Duck.
Okay. Wow. Okay. No, I've never
Yeah,
heard of
Cold
it.
Shadow.
Interesting.
Um, Final Fantasy VI. That one was pretty challenging too, just because of the Kefka fight at the end.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
probably the hardest boss fight I've ever done, but I kind of liked it because I felt really accomplished,
Yeah.
when I finally beat him. So like difficult games can be frustrating, but like you also feel really good
Mm-hmm.
when you finally beat it.
Well, you mentioned Final Fantasy now, so you mentioned two of my favorite games now. It took, just about 40 odd minutes. I mean, when you did beat Kefka, how much of the party did you have?
Oh gosh. I don't, you know, I don't even know. My first time playing it was on stream and it was like 3 in the morning. And I was determined to beat Kefka. I'd been at it for hours. And so gosh, by the time I beat him, I was so just tired and relieved.
Yeah, I bet.
I'm trying to remember what my final four team even was and how many people like got switched out in that fight because you have like your A team and your B team.
Yeah.
Man, but I think I was so tired. But I know Tara, I always had her on my team.
Yeah.
Um,
She's amazing.
but because she was my favorite character in that game.
Yeah, she's
But
amazing.
yeah, but by the time I beat him, I was so tired. Like I don't even remember.
I don't think there's a different feeling to 3 a.m. winning, is there? Like that's a mindset, that's a vibe. I don't know if it's a vibe,
Yeah.
but it's a feeling. So,
Yeah.
oh, bless you, bless you. Okay, so I mean, I was wondering if you played it in the '90s or if you played it recently. So you played it recently.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Great game. I love that. I bet you had Dancing Mad in your head constantly as well. The song.
Oh my gosh. I love it. And the Kefka laugh. Oh gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Going to bed that night, I swear I heard it in my nightmares. Like
Yeah, I bet. God, do you have a sound alert with Kefka's laugh
I
on
do.
it?
I do have a command, yeah.
Nice, nice. Oh, I don't know what genres of music you're interested in, but I recently found an insanely amazing metal cover version of Dancing Mad a few weeks ago. I was like, oh my good God. Because again, it has all the
Really?
phases. Like, if you're interested, I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
Because obviously there's the four phases of the song because of the four phases of the fight, and it's just like, wow. It was like I was listening, I was going, oh, this is so good. Oh my God, and it was just getting better. It was like, this is,
Okay, that's cool.
yeah. I was like, oh,
I mean, I don't know if you figured it out from my username, but I do like metal.
I thought you did. I try not to. I try not to jump ahead and go, well, she's gotta be into something like that. Yeah, I don't want. I dare not. But yeah, I thought as much. I thought as much. Oh yeah, I'll send that to you then. I'll send that to you. But yeah, let's talk about streaming then. We've covered a lot of stuff already. So you've been streaming for nearly 4 years, you said.
Mhm.
So I mean that was pre-pandemic then, I think, wasn't it?
Ye- A
Coming into
little,
it.
yeah, like just before, yeah.
So what was the moments then that led to you to clicking live for the first time? What were like the steps that happened? Obviously, going into that mindset of I want to stream, and then going, okay, I'm going to click live. So what was that process like for you? And what happened?
Well, gosh, for at least like a year or two, my wife and one of her friends had been trying to convince me to stream. They're like, "Oh, like we like you have good commentary when you play games, just messing around. Like you're really nice to people. I think you would do really well and like, just find people to nerd out with." And I'm very, very shy, especially like in person. I'm very, very shy and introverted. So I was too scared. I was like, there's no way I can do this. But I ended up convincing my sister to stream with me
Okay, yeah,
at first. So my sister streamed with me for like the first few months, I think. So we would stream on my couch. My wife is extremely techie, so she was able to help with like the mic setup and the PC and everything. She kind of did everything for us. And in terms of streaming, she did everything for me for like the first year, until I finally learned to like do stuff on my own and stop bugging her like every time I needed something. But yeah, I started with my sister, so I would have someone with me to kind of like banter with.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and then finally I got comfortable and we both like way different things. So we branched off and just started doing our own separate streams after that.
Right. Okay. So your
Yeah.
your sister streams as well.
Yeah, she's very like sporadic with it. But she does stream, but she likes a lot of like FPS
Uh
games,
huh.
like
Yeah.
Call of Duty and Valorant and stuff like that, and I just like don't like stuff like that.
Hmm.
So we like very different games and very different like fandoms. We played together well. We're really close. We get along really well. But we were also so different that it was like I feel like we need to like separate and do our own thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, she streams a lot of like Call of Duty, Valorant, like sometimes horror games and stuff like that too.
Oh yeah, awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
My sister streams as well. She's just got into streaming about a few months ago, really. And she kind of plays a lot of indie games. I mean, not that I don't play indie games, but like very
Oh,
different
cool.
type of indie games that I play. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think she's going through her back catalogue. I think that's what she's doing because she got a lot of those like humble bundles and stuff like that.
Oh
So
yeah,
I
those will
think
get you.
oh yeah. I think I don't know how many games she's got in her collection. She's got more than me. I'm probably arguably a bigger gamer than her. But in terms of like humble bundles and cheap deals and stuff like that, she's one of those people. She's like, I will
Hmm.
get that because it's free or 2p, 2
Yeah.
pence, fantastic. Um, yeah. But no, I'm really proud of her. She's done amazing in the short period of time she's been streaming. But yeah, very different content, so I can relate
Mhm.
to that for sure. Yeah. Oh, nice. Okay. I mean, so what was the first game which you played then? Well, what's the first game you played with your sister then? And then what was the first game you went, okay, right, I'm going to try this on my own? What were those?
The first game that we played together, we had the little you know the like the little mini thing, like the mini NES, the mini Sega,
Oh,
the
yeah, yeah,
mini.
yeah.
Yeah, so we were playing on the Sega Mini. So we
Okay.
were just like playing games off of there.
Oh, like some of the
So we
compilations and
played
stuff.
that. Yeah, and we played I think it was Diablo 2. That was another one we played together. She did get me to play Call of Duty with her on stream, but when we separated, she was doing a lot of Call of Duty content and I was doing a lot of World of Warcraft content.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So again, with the World of Warcraft stuff, then was that like just a continuation of what you were doing pre-stream as well? Just we're continuing it online, were you? On streaming, I say.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of the story stuff I continued off stream. I think the bulk of what I did on stream was PvP with friends. So we did a lot of like big like battlegrounds PvP stuff,
I got you.
which was a lot of fun.
Nice. All right. So
Yeah.
streaming for nearly 4 years. What have you got? Any like favorite memories, favorite moments, favorite like yeah, what are some of the
Mhm.
highlights? Can you? I mean, 4 years is hard to cram down into like 1 or 2 minutes,
I
but I mean,
know, I
is it
know.
what comes to mind in terms of like
Um,
some of those favorite memories, maybe?
Gosh, I'm trying to think of like maybe even like first experiences. Um, like my first cosplay on stream was Silk from the Spider-Verse.
All right, yeah.
And that was the first time I was like brave enough to cosplay on stream, and that was a lot of fun. Um, my first ever hype train was my community knew, and this was back when I had maybe like my CCV was probably like 10 people, but my community like came together because they knew I was getting married and I was gonna take maybe like a week off streaming. And they secretly planned this whole like let's do this hype train thing, and they all just like came in and just started dropping like a bunch of subs and a bunch of bits and stuff like that as like wedding gifts, and it was really
Oh,
really sweet. um I think, oh gosh, when I was playing Resident Evil 2, I was playing as Claire Redfield and I got rated by her voice actress,
oh,
which was really
wow.
cool.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, and
Oh,
she was helping me through like one of the puzzles and stuff, and it was really cool.
that's crazy,
Um,
isn't it?
yeah,
The
yeah.
voice actress.
Um, yeah, it was so cool. She's really cool. She streams like fairly
Yeah,
consistently too.
I
Yeah.
forget what her name is, but yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. But yeah, but I think, again, sorry, just the little devil on my shoulders going. Can you not backseat me, please? So-
No, she did. Like I asked for help.
no,
She
I know,
wasn't.
I
She
know.
was not a backseater.
No, I
Like,
know. I promise. I know. I know. I'm pretty sure she wasn't. I just thought that was a funny thing. Can you imagine that if you were a different personality and you would have gone, "Excuse me"? Not saying that you would do that. I'm just saying
oh, that'd be
maybe
so
it'd
bad.
be so bad. It'd be so bad.
Like
Hence,
I know you just sent me this big community and everything, and you're the
yeah,
voice actress for the character I'm playing. But can you not tell me what to
yeah.
play?
Excuse me. No, no, no. Of course not.
Oh.
So I said there was a little thing on my shoulder. I was going, should I say it? I've said it. It's too late. Oh man. Okay, so I mean that's amazing. Wow, fair play. Um, Quite jealous, but also like that's amazing. Fair play. So in terms of like so there's some amazing memories there, and oh wow, and again congratulations on your marriage, and again that's awesome that
Thank
your
you.
family, so your community have celebrated that. Like that's amazing. I forgot to ask you. So you mentioned how your Tabby or Tabitha, and that is your real name. I mean, is
Mhm.
the name TabathaSabbatha? Is it self-explanatory? Is there a meaning behind it, or talk us through your username?
Well, TabbathaSabbatha has been my username since like the MySpace days.
Oh wow,
So I just kind of kept it because I thought it was a cool name
yeah,
because my name is Tabitha and I like metal and I like Black Sabbath. So it's just a play on Black Sabbath.
yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
In and out, straight answer. Perfect, love it. But sometimes it could be, and sometimes there's sort of like a crazy story behind the usernames, So you never know. But I love to ask the question. But it's a pretty, yeah, it's a brilliant name. I love it.
Thank you.
Um, so, yeah. So your first stream was playing, well, Diablo or the Sega stuff. What other games have you played over the years that you love playing? And you mentioned variety streaming and stuff like that. But yeah, so what are some
Yeah.
of the favorite game side of things in terms of your memories and what you've played?
Oh man. Gosh, I feel like I've played so many games. I'm like I'm almost like blanking out. You know when you have like too many options and you're just
Yeah.
like, wait.
Where do you start?
Um Man. Oh gosh. Gosh, how do I forget like everything I've ever done? Like,
So- don't worry. What are you playing at the moment? I mean, this
um,
this podcast might come out in a few weeks or months, but I mean,
yeah.
like, what are you playing at the moment then? What type of content are you playing?
I'm playing quite a eclectic mix of things right now. I'm playing through Detective Pikachu,
Okay,
the new
yeah,
one, Detective Pikachu Returns, which I always tell everyone is a super underrated series. The story and everything in the gameplay is just so cute and so good. So I'm enjoying that because I really like the first one. I'm playing through Persona 5 Royal, which it's my first playthrough. So I know it's a lot of people's favorite game. A few people in my community, it's their favorite game.
yeah.
I just started playing Shadow of the Colossus, which
Oh,
I could
nice.
easily see becoming a favorite
Is this
game, like in general.
the remade or the original?
Yeah, the remake.
Nice. Oh,
The
wow.
remake. Oh gosh, yeah, it's just so unique and such a beautiful game, and like gosh, the boss fights and everything are just so cool and like I've never seen anything like it. So
Yeah,
I'm really really enjoying that right now.
yeah.
Yeah, and then I brought back World of Warcraft for Warcraft Wednesdays. So I'm playing through the new content now because I'm trying to like, catch up to everything.
Wow, very eclectic. Love it. I mean, so what are your thoughts on the World? Sorry, not World of Warcraft. I've already asked you that. What are your thoughts on Shadow of the Colossus then? So how far have you gone into it now in terms of like how many colossi have you
I've
taken down?
beaten I've beaten 7 Colossi. I've only streamed one stream of it. Um
Oh, okay.
I feel like I'm gonna finish the game in just maybe like 3 or 4 streams.
Yeah.
Because I like how straightforward it is, where it's just like you're basically just going from boss fight to boss fight for the
Yeah.
most part. But yeah, I can easily see that being like a favorite. I'm already planning because on Friday nights, my wife and I just have some drinks and we play games together. And I'm already because this is a game that she really loves and she's been wanting me to play it. We're already talking about playing it together again, but trying it in like the hardest difficulty.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
I already want to try to do that. It's just such a beautiful game. I just
Yeah.
love how unique it is. Like I could see why it's so many people's favorite and why people got so excited like coming in to like me playing that.
Yeah. 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 I might. I'm gonna have to try and see if I can stop by myself now. Now that I know, when I get time. But that's amazing. Oh, it's so good. It's so damn good. I love it. I never played all of the remake. I got about halfway through it. I played the original like 2 or 3 times when it came out on the PS2. So I mean, it's basically just like an upgrade on the original. They barely changed anything. So you're getting pretty much a full experience. So Um, okay. That one thing I remember, I think it's a question I want to ask you, and I forgot what it was, and I remember what it is now. So you're mentioning about being kind of like shy, and
Mhm.
you were mentioning again like first cosplays and stuff like that. So, what were your thoughts in terms of like streaming as like something to help build on that, to build on like confidence and stuff like that? Is that, do you think that you've gone through some kind of journey with content creation with being a streamer?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I still get shy when I'm like going on other people's streams and doing stuff like that, but I mean, basically the people that come into my streams get to see how I act with friends that I've been comfortable with forever. And I feel like it's also kind of helped me a little bit like IRL. Like I feel like I still get really shy and I still get really anxious, but I think it's kind of helped me. I don't know, it's just kind of helped me be a little bit better about it.
Yeah,
And it's just giving me like a lot more confidence.
that's awesome. That's really awesome. So what's the future then? What are your future plans in terms of content creation? You mentioned like again some of your other hobbies and interests as well. So you mentioned the Pokemon
Mhm.
cards and the art and stuff like that as well. So yeah, what if you don't mind obviously me asking what's the plans?
Like of what just I have like upcoming,
Yeah, yeah.
like what I
So
plan
in
on
terms
doing.
of Twitch, but also in terms of like
Oh,
what else you got coming up?
oh, gosh, I'm a planner, so I've planned out the next games. Like the next 10 games I'm gonna stream probably. I already have like stacked up games that I just have never gotten around to, like Final Fantasy 4. I've never played Chrono Trigger. Um, gosh, Final Fantasy 9 is another one that I
Ah,
haven't gotten to
my
play.
favorite.
Um, oh, see, yeah, I've had a lot of people tell me that's their favorite, so I'm really excited about that. I'm just gonna continue to do like art and painting and stuff. I have a lot of stuff I'm working on for my Etsy shop. I do mostly digital art, which I make like fan art, like stickers, pins, like cute stuff like that. So yeah, basically just keep doing what I'm doing, working on my art and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
And
Yeah.
you do the Pokemon cards as well. So what type of
Mhm.
art do you do? What things do you do on your Etsy store? I mean, plug it. Tell us about it. I'd love to hear it. And obviously, people who are hopefully listening will want to see it as well.
Well, as far as Pokemon cards, I just take a regular Pokemon card and I paint around the picture that's on it, and I kind of blend it into one, yeah, cohesive painting, basically, which has been really, really fun. I'm really glad I picked that up, and it's crazy because I had never painted before. I started painting Pokemon cards, and I've been
Wow.
painting Pokemon cards for a little over a year. And I had never tried painting, and I just kind of learned as I went, and they just been kind of like improving
Hmm.
over time. As far as like the Etsy stuff, it's mostly like fan art stuff like Pokemon, different animes. I just make like cute like art into like cute little stickers and like accessories and things like that. So,
Nice. Oh, that's
mhm.
awesome. That's awesome. Okay, just to wrap up then. So what advice would you think about giving anyone that is thinking about picking up streaming, someone that or content creation in general? What tips and tricks have you learned over the years, and pass on wisdom wise to people who are thinking about picking it up?
um I think something really important is setting boundaries and sticking with those boundaries because I feel like this happens with a lot of newer streamers. Like people might come in and like do or say things that make you uncomfortable that you don't like, and you just kind of like put up with it because if you're like me, like you don't know what to do because you're kind of a pushover, you know? Um, and I feel like a lot of times you have people that stick around that might bring like a lot of toxicity in. I know I kind of put up with a lot of stuff and it ended up like hurting me later. So I think setting boundaries is really important. I always tell people that the right people will respect you for setting boundaries and the wrong people will leave. And I think that's so important for growth as well. Because that one viewer that you're keeping may be scaring away dozens of others. Like don't let people make you feel uncomfortable. Like this is your space.
Yeah,
And you have to remember, like, this is your space. No one should be able to have the power to make you uncomfortable or do or say things that you're not okay with. And I know this is super generic, but being yourself is so important. Like, I know you might get inspired by other streamers and things like that, inspired by ideas from other streamers and stuff, but don't let yourself become a carbon copy of somebody else. Like, I feel like it's so important to just like genuinely be yourself because people will see that. And I think that they will like that, you know? And like a big part that came from my community was just like just as a person, like I like to make people feel good about themselves. I like to make people feel wanted. As someone who was bullied throughout school, like really, really bad, like to the point where I'm like a 12-year-old with like white hair coming out of my head, pretending I'm sick because I don't want to go to school. Um, I think that because of that, like I never want anyone to feel like they don't belong. And I feel like that's been like a big part of what I've decided I wanted as a streamer. So I guess maybe also decide what you want as a streamer, you know, because mental health and making people feel cared for and like they have friends. And like when you come to my streams, like you're not an outcast, you're one of the cool kids. You know what I mean? Like no matter how weird you think you are, no matter how neurodivergent or out of place you may seem, or how hard of a time you may have with social skills and things like that, like I want you to feel like you're one of like the cool kids in the group, you know? And I think setting that as a priority and deciding that's what I want for my streams, even more so than gaming and other things like that. I think knowing what I want and like making that my goal has just been huge and just really awesome. Just the friends I've made, the awesome supportive community I've made, not just with me, but like how supportive they are with each other. It's just been so cool to see because it's not what I expected going into streaming. And I don't know, it just makes me really happy. So I guess the top three things, I kind of rambled a little bit, but the top three things I think would be set your boundaries, be yourself, and decide what you want for your community, what you want your community to be like. And just, you know, stick with that. Be consistent.
That's brilliant. I love that. Thank you. Absolutely love that. That was very powerful. Thank you for sharing that. Wow, yeah. I don't know what to say now. I'm blown away. Thank you so much. That was a brilliant chat, and what a way to end it. I don't think I need to say anything else apart from goodbye, because that was just absolutely exceptional. What a way to end it. Loved that advice and loved that story, and I've loved listening to your story in general. So thank you for telling it.
Thank you.
One more time, would you like to tell us where we can find you on socials and
Oh gosh.
yeah, what days do you have a streaming schedule? I think you mentioned it. So what is it? And
Mhm.
yeah.
Well, I stream Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, 6 p.m. PDT, California time. My name's pretty much the same across all platforms on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram. My Etsy shop is TabbyCat Creative Shop, on Etsy. But yeah, my username's the same across all platforms, which I think makes things a lot easier.
Oh, it does. I can't say the same for me and Johnny Beard. I'm trying to fight other Johnny Beards. I'll give them £50 if they want, but they're not listening. Anyway, never mind. Oh, Tabitha, that was brilliant. Thank you so much for coming on. And yeah, everyone check out TabathaSabbatha. I've loved that chat. Thank you.
Thank you for having me and making me feel comfortable.
Oh,
Also, I
thank
think this
you.
is the most comfortable I felt like with an interview. So
Oh, thank you.
yeah.
Yay! Oh, that's a lovely compliment. Thank you. I hope everyone else has been comfortable listening / watching as well. So have a lovely time zone, everyone. Take care, and we'll see you for the next one. Bye bye.
Bye.